This article came out way through the Yahoo News app, and one major thing that stuck out to me was the title. Now, as many of us know, this is, and I found out the pronunciation of his last name, Alexander King. Now, his last name is spelled Kueng, but it is pronounced King. I read through the article a little bit, and that's how I said that his last name is pronounced. Now, the last time we talked about him, he went viral in a video where this woman had confronted him inside of this grocery store, just casually shopping for, I think he had Oreos and whipped cream. He said he was buying necessities, and she basically confronted him. Now, this article has come out about him, where now they have confirmed what I had already said about him. Now, if you remember watching that video, I said that he looks like he has a little bit of melanin in him. And sure enough, he does. But this article says, and this is how it's titled, "The black officer who detained George Floyd had pledged to fix the police." Now, this guy, they never disclosed his race before today. And it is currently June 27th, 2020. But like I said, black people, we have been known to grow up around many shades of colors, because black people, we come in various shades. You have your dark, your brown, caramel, light skin, ones who look ethnically ambiguous, but they're just really, really light, that you have to kind of like squint with one eye to see. But I could look at him and tell that there was some melanin there when I saw that next video. I couldn't really tell from the first one, but if you look at the mugshots alongside the other three, he's like the more tanned one of them all. So I say, yeah, he definitely has some color there. Now, when I was looking through the article, and it's going to mention it again when I read it, it says his mother is white and his dad is Nigerian. So there's that. But I'm going to go ahead and get into this, because I already read through some of the article and I got to the part where it was talking about his family life, which I didn't expect them to touch on. And man, wait until you hear what I have to say when I get to that part. There were two black men at the scene of the police killing in Minneapolis last month that roiled the nation. One, George Floyd, was sprawled on the asphalt with a white officer's knee on his neck. The other black man, Alex King, was a rookie police officer who held his back as Floyd struggled to breathe. Now, here's the thing. He said that he wanted to pledge to fix the police, but you aided in the killing of this black man. Now, you being the quote unquote other black person there, you could have been seen as a hero if you stopped Derek Chauvin from what he did. You had the opportunity to do it. You could have been seen as a hero, and George Floyd most likely would have still been alive. Sure, you probably would have lost your job, because considering the nature of this establishment and how they treat their police officers who actually do good things, but you would have had the support of the people. Do you know how many GoFundMes you probably would have had? You probably would have become a millionaire off of this. But no, you just went right along with it, and now this man is dead. I can honestly say I don't feel bad for him. I don't. And when I get to the certain part of the article, you're going to find there's some people that's close to him that don't feel bad for him either, which actually shocked me. Floyd, whose name has been painted on murals and scrawled on protest signs, has been laid to rest. King, who faces charges of aiding and abetting in Floyd's death, is out on bail, hounded at a supermarket by strangers and denounced by some family members. Long before King was arrested, he had wrestled with the issue of police abuse of black people, joining the force in part to help protect people close to him from police aggression. He argued that diversity could force change in a police department long accused of racism. He had seen one sibling arrested, treated poorly, in his view, by a sheriff's deputy. He had found himself defending his decision to join the police force, saying he thought it was the best way to fix a broken system. Now listen to that. He said he had a sibling that faced police brutality, and he thought that joining the police force was going to help fix that. This is a systemic thing. If it wants to be fixed, it needs to be dismantled and then rebuilt. And then you came face to face, and that's why I said he had the opportunity to do something right then and there, but he chose not to. He froze up, and now this man is dead. Again, I do not feel sorry for this man. I don't. He said he had clashed with friends over whether public demonstrations could actually make things better. He said, "Don't you think that needs to be done from the inside?" His mother, Joni King, recalled him saying after he watched protesters block a highway years ago. That's part of the reason why he wanted to become a police officer, and a black police officer on top of that. It is to bridge the gap in the community, change the narrative between the officers and the black community. As hundreds of thousands of people demonstrated against the police after Floyd's killing on May 25th, King became part of the national debate over police violence toward black people, a symbol of the very sort of policing he had long said he wanted to stop. Derek Chauvin, the terrorist, who placed his knee on Floyd's neck for more than 8 minutes, had been most widely associated with the case. He faces charges of second-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. King and 2 other former officers were charged with aiding and abetting the killing. At 26, King was the youngest and least experienced officer at the scene, only on his 3rd shift as a full officer. The arrest of King, whose mother is white and whose father was from Nigeria, has brought anguish to his friends and family. It's a gut punch, Joni King said. Here you are, you've raised this child, you know who he is inside and out. We're such a racially diverse family, to be wrapped up in a racially motivated incident like this is just unfathomable. 2 of Alex King's siblings, Taylor and Radiance, both of whom are African American, called for the arrest of all 4 officers, including their brother. They joined protests in Minneapolis. When I read that part, I had to stop reading and just immediately come and record this video. I was going to record it anyway, but that part made me intrigued. His own siblings are against him. Now, notice that the article says that his siblings are African American. That's because, and I'm jumping the gun a little bit because it's going to come up in the article, the 2 siblings that said that are actually adopted. These are 2 full black siblings that he has that were adopted by his mother, who was white. So their experience is a little bit different from his. In a Facebook Live video, Taylor King, age 21, appeared with the head of the local NAACP to speak on the injustice that befell Floyd, acknowledging being related to Alex King but never mentioning his name. Alex King's sister, Radiance, posted a video on Floyd final minutes on Facebook. "Just broke my heart," she wrote. In an interview, she said that as a black man, her brother should have intervened. She says she planned to change her last name in part because she did not want to be associated with her brother's actions. Woo! I don't care if it was his 3rd day at work or not. She said he knows right from wrong. Now, this is the part that I'm going to read where it talks about their family life. They actually gave it a subheading called A Full House. Through his life, Alex King straddled 2 worlds, black and white. King, whose full name is J. Alexander King, was raised by his mother, whom he lived with until last year. His father was absent. As a child, King sometimes asked for siblings. Joni King, who lived in the Shingle Creek neighborhood in North Minneapolis, signed up with an African American adoption agency. When Alex was 5, Joni King brought home a baby boy who had been abandoned at a hospital. Alex soon asked for a sister. Radiance arrived when he was 11. Taylor and a younger brother came in 2009 when Alex was about 16. Radiance King, age 21, said their adopted mother did not talk about race. I'm not surprised about that. "Race was not really a topic in our household, unfortunately," she said. "For her adopting as many black kids as she did, I didn't get that conversation from her. I feel like that should have been a conversation that was had." Growing up, Alex King and his family made repeated trips to Haiti, helping at an orphanage. Alex King and his siblings took a break from school to volunteer there after the earthquake in 2010. Joni King, age 56, likes to say that the Kings are a family of doers, not talkers. "I had to stay out of the race conversations because I was the minority in the household," Joni King said in her first interview since her son's arrest. She said that race was not an issue with her, but that she was conflicted. Well, if you feel race was an issue for you, then why did you go and adopt all of those black kids? That's what I'd like to know. And I think I'm looking at a picture on here, and I think that is Alex King, as well as the siblings that were adopted, because I think that is a picture, and if it is, I might pull it up later on. Well, why would you adopt all those kids if you weren't ready to have the conversation about race? See, that's the thing. That's why a lot of black people get worried when a lot of them, when a lot of white people in particular adopt these black kids, because they know that they're probably not going to have that kind of conversation with them. And his younger sibling just confirmed that. I'm not going to say that's the conversation. That's not the case with everyone, but a lot of the times it isn't. Let's see here. It didn't really matter, but it does matter to them because they are African American, and so they had to be able to have an outlet to tell their stories and their experience as well, especially having a white mom. Joni King taught math at the schools her children went to, where the student body was often mostly among African American and Latino. Classmates described Alex King as friends with everyone, a master of juggling a soccer ball, and a defender against bullies. Daryl Jones said he first met Alex King on the playground when he was 6. Jones was trying to finish his multiplication homework. Alex King helped Jones, then invited him into a game of tag. You know what they're doing right now? You know what? I'm just realized what I'm reading. This is them trying to soften his image. This right here is trying to soften his image. I'm actually surprised they haven't done this with Derek Chauvin, because, you know, seeing he is the main culprit, I'm surprised they haven't done this with him. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I want to read about this. I really don't. I think I pretty much gained everything on here, because then eventually it goes into what happened on that day. It's just it almost feels like a biography about this guy. Like they just went into his background a little bit more further than we had asked for, but it's interesting to know that his siblings are against him and don't agree with what he did. And that's very rare that happens, because, you know, usually they'll be on this side because they're siblings, but they was like, nah, that's not going to happen. And not only were they not on his side and said they felt that he should be held accountable for what he did, but they also went out there and protested as well. Even had the sister talking about, to avoid scrutiny and to not be associated, that she's trying to change her last name. Talk about going above and beyond to separate herself from her brother. Even they don't feel bad for him and feel that he should get what he deserves. That's some on cold stuff for you. Now I'm going to pull up this picture right here. Hopefully it comes up. It's kind of blurry, unfortunately. I don't know why it's looking blurry like that. But I think this is supposed to be Alex King and his siblings right here. And I'm guessing that might be his mother holding the picture. I'm guessing. But yeah. I don't feel too bad for this guy. I mean, oh wait a minute, just got clear. If his if his siblings don't feel too bad for him, I can't say I feel bad for him either. It is what it is.